In the dense jungles and sprawling rice paddies, the tools of the infantryman defined the fight. Let's take a deep dive into the arsenal that shaped countless engagements, starting with the legendary AK-47 and its successor, the AKM. These rifles weren't built for winning shooting competitions. They were built to win wars. Chambered in the hard-hitting 7.6 to by 39mm cartridge, they offered reliable stopping power that could punch through light cover, thick foliage, and hastily built fortifications. The AK's genius wasn't in its precision, but in its unparalleled reliability. It was designed to function in mud, rain, sand, and with total neglect to keep firing when every other weapon would jam. The AKM was a smart evolution. It reduced weight by using stamped metal components instead of milled steel, making it easier to carry on long marches. It also improved controllability during automatic fire and, crucially, simplified mass production. This meant more rifles could get to the front, ready to be carried 4 days, fired in short, controlled bursts, and repaired with basic tools right in the field. But the AK wasn't the only rifle on the battlefield. The SKS, known locally as the CKC, filled a different tactical role. As a semi-automatic rifle, it lacked the full auto capability of the AK, but this forced a more deliberate and controlled style of shooting. The SKS rewarded the disciplined marksman. It consumed less ammunition, which was a major logistical advantage, and its longer barrel provided better first shot accuracy. This made it incredibly effective in ambushes, defensive positions, and for precise engagements where every shot had to count. Its limitations were clear: slower reloads using 10-round stripper clips and a lack of sustained fire compared to the AK. But in the hands of a skilled soldier who understood its strengths, the SKS was a deadly and efficient tool. It represented a different philosophy of combat, one focused on precision over volume. When the fighting got up close and personal, another weapon reigned supreme: the PPSH-41 submachine gun. In the tight confines of trenches, bunkers, or thick jungle, the PPSH was terrifyingly effective. Firing from a 71-round drum magazine, it could unleash a storm of pistol-caliber bullets at an incredible rate of fire. At distances under 100 meters, the PPSH created a literal wall of lead, overwhelming enemy positions through sheer volume. But this firepower came at a cost. It devoured ammunition at an alarming rate, and the high rate of fire made it difficult to control, especially for inexperienced users. To adapt this weapon for jungle warfare, the Vietnamese K-50M was developed. It was a clever, localized modification of the PPSH. It featured a shortened barrel shroud, an AK-style rear sight for better aiming, a proper pistol grip for improved handling, and a folding wire stock. The K-50M was the PPSH redesigned for the specific challenges of the terrain: lighter, more compact, and much faster to maneuver in confined spaces. For laying down continuous fire to support advancing troops, the squad needed a light machine gun. The APD filled this role perfectly. A key advantage was that it shared the same 7.62 by 39mm ammunition as the AK-47, which massively simplified logistics for the entire squad. No need to carry different types of rifle and machine gun rounds. The APD fed from a 100-round drum containing a non-disintegrating belt, allowing for sustained fire that could pin down enemy forces and allow friendly infantry to maneuver under a blanket of suppression. It was the bridge between a standard rifle and a heavier machine gun. Digging deeper into history, you'd also find the venerable DP-28, with its distinctive pon magazine on top. This older design fired the powerful 7.6 to by 5.4 rifle cartridge, the same one used in the Mosin Nagant. The RP-46 was a post-war modernization of the DP, designed to improve its endurance by converting it to use a belt feed system. This allowed for longer bursts and a much higher rate of sustained fire, turning it into a formidable defensive weapon. These machine guns were heavier, and slower to reload than an RPD, but their devastating power made them invaluable in holding a fixed position. At the pinnacle of machine gun evolution stood the PK, and its modernized counterpart, the PKM. This was a true general-purpose machine gun, combining the power of the 7.6-by-5.4 cartridge with a modern, reliable, and relatively lightweight design. A single PKM could dominate a huge swath of open ground, suppress enemy movement across an entire field, and serve as the anchor for an entire defensive line. It wasn't just a weapon for providing covering fire. It was a tool for battlefield control. Its intimidating sound and incredible range could dictate the flow of an entire engagement. It fired from belts, could be mounted on a tripod for stability, or fired from a bipod for mobile support. The PKM represented the ultimate expression of infantry firepower, capable of shaping the battlefield from hundreds of meters away. Even with the rise of automatic weapons, the old bolt-action rifle still had a crucial role to play. The Mosin Nagant, a design dating back to the 19th century, remained relevant through its precision and power. When fitted with a scope and placed in the hands of a skilled marksman, the Mosin became a sniper's tool. A single, well-placed shot from its powerful 7.6-by-5.4 cartridge could disrupt enemy command by taking out an officer, silence a sentry on watch, or halt an entire enemy advance by targeting a machine gunner. It was a weapon that rewarded patience, skill, and a deep understanding of ballistics. In a war of attrition and chaos, the Sniper S rifle offered a way to achieve a decisive result with a single pull of the trigger. Sidearms were weapons of last resort, carried for proximity and necessity. The two most common were the K-54, a copy of the Soviet TT-33, and the K-59, a copy of the Makarov PM. The K-54 fired the zippy 7.62-by-25mm Tokarev round. This high-velocity cartridge was known for its impressive penetration, capable of punching through helmets and light body armor at close range. The K-59, on the other hand, fired the 9-by-18mm Makarov round. It was less powerful but more controllable, more compact, and famously reliable. Against armored vehicles, infantry had to rely on specialized anti-tank weapons. The B-40, a copy of the RPG-2, was an early and simple rocket-propelled grenade launcher. It was effective, but had limited range and penetration. Its successor, the B-41, a copy of the legendary RPG-7, was a massive improvement. It offered greater range, better accuracy, and a variety of modular warheads designed to defeat different types of targets, from armored personnel carriers to bunkers. Using these weapons required immense courage and patience. It meant waiting in an ambush, letting the target get close, and aiming for the right angle to hit a vulnerable flank or the weaker rear armor. A single shot could turn a multi-ton steel vehicle into a burning wreck. For even heavier firepower against fortified positions, infantry turned to recoilless rifles. These weapons, like the 57mm or 75mm variants, could deliver a high explosive shell with devastating force, capable of destroying bunkers, light armor, and concrete fortifications. They operated on a principle that vented propellant gases out the back, cancelling out the heavy recoil you'd expect from such a powerful weapon. This also created a dangerous backblast area that the crew had to keep clear. They fired slowly, and each round was heavy, but every shot carried massive destructive force, capable of blowing a hole in a wall or collapsing a machine gun nest.